If you or someone you know is applying for a U.S. green card, everything just changed. The Trump administration has officially revived the highly controversial public charge rule, completely reversing a major Biden-era policy. This means immigration officers can now deny permanent residency to applicants they believe might rely on government assistance in the future. It's a massive regulatory shift that could impact hundreds of thousands of applicants worldwide. Here is the full breakdown of what this rule means, the critical dates you cannot miss, and how it actually affects applicants. First, let's look at the timeline because the clock is already ticking. The policy officially appeared in the Federal Register this past Thursday. It will be formally published on July 20th and is scheduled to take effect on September 18th. The rule itself isn't entirely new. It was first implemented back in February 2020 during Donald Trump's first term as part of an effort to limit legal immigration, but it was later scrapped when President Joe Biden took office. Its return comes as the current Republican administration continues a hardline stance on both illegal and legal immigration, arriving at a time when food and healthcare costs are steadily rising. According to a post on X by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, the government is reinstating this to enforce self-reliance, protect public resources, and end policies that encourage dependency at taxpayers' expense. So, how does it actually work? Federal law has always required people seeking permanent residency or legal status to prove they won't become a public charge. However, this revived rule significantly broadens the grounds for disqualification. Surprisingly, the new regulation does not explicitly name specific programs, like Medicaid, food stamps, or housing vouchers, to be used in the assessment. Instead, USCIS stated that immigration officers will make individualized, fact-specific decisions. Officers are expected to use their own good judgment and discretion to evaluate the totality of an applicant's circumstances and determine if they are likely to become a burden on the country at any point. Advocates have heavily criticized the policy, labeling it a wealth test that targets lower-income immigrant families. Public health experts warn it creates a massive chilling effect. In fact, the policy consulting group Manat Health estimated that a previous version of the rule deterred as many as 26 million people from seeking essential healthcare, food, or housing assistance, even though they were legally entitled to those benefits. Shockingly, about half of those affected were estimated to be U.S. citizens, primarily children or adults living in mixed-status families where parents are foreign nationals. However, data suggests the actual legal impact on applications might be narrower than the fear it creates. A study by the Migration Policy Institute found that during its initial run, the number of immigrants who actually became legally ineligible due to public benefits was relatively small. They estimated that no more than 167,000 people, which was less than 1% of the 22.1 million non-citizens living in the U.S. at the time, could be found ineligible based on their benefit use. Ultimately, critics like the Protecting Immigrant Families Coalition and the National Immigration Law Center argue that the rule is an assault on immigrant families that sows fear and chaos, making people afraid to visit doctors or file taxes. With the September 18th effective date rapidly approaching, staying informed and consulting with a legal professional is more important than ever. What do you think about the return of the public charge rule? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with anyone navigating the immigration process, and subscribe to the channel for the latest policy updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.